Hi, so now I'm going to show you how to install the TAL Gate ladder system. So a couple of safety features just to point out. On all of the TAL Gate family, we do request that a fifth leg is installed, so that's in line with the front two legs but centre point of the cabinet. Just helps distribute the weight over the entire base, and as all tower units need to be fixed to a wall. Stage one of the installation is to install the top runner. Doing that, you go to drawing A because that has all the positions for all the screws. So the TAL Gate's end works on the centre position of the cabinet when the TAL Gate is offset by another 35mm. So we need to put another mark, 35mm. So we'll now go and mark on the positions for the screws for the top runner. So now I'm going to just pre-mark all those positions I've gone and make it easy for putting the screws in. So these are the 6 screws we're going to use to install the top runner. So we'll now start by installing the runner by screwing through into the pre-marked positions I did earlier. So we always start with the installation of the top runner first, is because as you're putting the screws in, there's always bits of debris that falls to the bottom of the cabinet. It means that doesn't drop into any of the runners. So now onto section 2, and that's installing the base runner. We start off by finding the centre points of the cabinet. For the TAL Gate N, we'll work from that centre point, but for the TAL Gate, we will offset by 35mm. So now use the owl to mark all the markers ready for the screws. These are the 6 screws we're going to use to install the base runner. And this is the last base screw going in. Smooth. So we're now on to section 3, and that's the pre-assembly of the frame and then the installation of it into the cabinet. So these are the screws we're going to use to fit the brackets onto the frame. We use the shorter screws for the top bracket, then the longer screws for the bottom bracket. So as we get ready to start installing the brackets, just make sure you got the frame the correct way round by having these facing upwards. Line up the top brackets with the hole positions and then pushing these screws. And then we'll tighten them up with the Allen key. So we now install the bottom brackets onto the bottom part of the frame, and that's just lining it up with the bottom holes, then dropping the screws through and tightening them up. That's the frame completed and ready for the installation. To install the frame, we start by installing it on the bottom runner. So to install the frame to the top runner, slacken off the 2 locking screws. We advise to always push the system to the back of the cabinet because it means you keep the frame in the upright position, and you can then push the frame up to the lock-in position on the top runner. So when you push the frame up, you'll see a little silver peg come through this hole here marked with my thumb, and it'll click. So now I need to tighten up the 2 locking screws. So we're now into section 4, where we're going to install the arms that connect the frame to the doors. For the positions, you need to use drawing C. And then we'll do the same on the bottom of the door. So I'm just going to use the owl to put some markers into the positions we've marked on the door. So these are the 6 screws we're going to use to fix the arms to the door, and then these 2 grey clips are what we use to fix the arms to the frame. So now install the bottom arm to the 3 markers we made on the door. With the frame being an unhanded frame, the arm gets fitted on a diagonal into the brackets at this side. So we'll first install the grey clip into the frame, and then we clip the arm into that grey clip and it'll lock it into place. So installing the top arm, just following the 3 markers we already made on the door to enter the screws. So as the same as on the bottom, insert the grey clip and then pop the arm into there until it clips into place. I'm now going to show you how to do your tilt adjustments. So these two screws are what you'll use to do your tilt adjustment. We're now going to install the baskets onto the frame. To install the shelf clips, you line these locator pegs up with the holes on the inside of the frame. You put them in and they clip it into place, just with a small rotation. Install in the final basket, bring it up into position, line it up, and then it locks into place. To remove a basket to adjust the height, you lift the front up slightly just so it releases from the clip, then lift the basket off. To release the clip, you first need to push it away from the back of the frame with your thumbs, and you hear it click to unrelease, and then it pulls away. Magic.